Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and if you need daily Raiders videos and live shows, go ahead and subscribe. Click that big red button below. I'm trying to get to 43,000 subscribers by Tuesday when I go live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, and I go live every single Tuesday. Today's show, I got the latest news around Allegiant Stadium. I got an interesting draft trade rumor, and at the very, very end, I'm going to let you know on how many Chucky heads Cam Newton coming to Vegas. That's all coming up right now. Let's start this show off with a little bit of Raiders news, and I got an update on Allegiant Stadium. And this is a report coming out from KTNV, and I thought it was interesting that they put that the Raiders could be eyeing a backup plan for home games in Las Vegas. And for those of you that don't know, this past weekend, a second Allegiant Stadium worker contracted the Big C. For those of you that don't watch the show, YouTube has told us that we are not allowed to say the word, the Big C. So also I saw that Forbes said that the Raiders, they could end up playing at Sam Boyd Stadium, which is another stadium in Las Vegas. Some other options there for the Raiders were in El Paso, even San Antonio, Texas. There was another report from an NFL insider that said that the Raiders, heck, could just play a few games, their first few games on the road. I'm going to let you know, though, how likely I think that the Raiders are going to start in Las Vegas. That's coming up, though. But after, I do want to wish every single person today a happy Easter. Unfortunately, I can't be with my family, but luckily I get to make this video, and luckily I get to share it with my Raider family here. You don't have to be blood to be family, remember that. So I want every single person that watches this video to scroll on down, type Happy Easter. Let me know what you're thankful for. Let me know what you did today. I would definitely appreciate that. Let's get in now to this rumor here, okay? We got some Chucky heads on today's show. And will the stadium be ready by week one? I'm going to give this one 3 Chucky heads. I think it's pretty likely, and I really want to be able to give it 4. But if this whole Big C situation has taught me anything, you can't take anything for granted. With the second worker contracting the Big C, I think you definitely have to take a step back, right? I mean, is it important that the Raiders Stadium is built? Unquestionably. Do I want to see Raiders football games? Unquestionably. But the workers' health comes first, and I think at the end of the day, you need to be able to sit here and say, well, if they're healthy and the workers are in perfect health, that's the most important thing. But there was also another report out there that the work has slowed down a little bit. However, it is still expected to finish by July 31st. My fingers are crossed. I hope that I can be tailgating with every single one of you very, very soon. So I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. So for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, you might get hit with an ad break. And while that ad is playing, I want you to scroll on down, and I want you to let me know, will the Raider Stadium be ready by week 1? Type Y for yes, or you can type your N for no. So the Raiders Report is all about bold predictions. Here's my bold prediction. I think if the Raiders Stadium is ready, week 1, I don't know, I think it's going to be kicking off the NFL season. And the NFL would be dumb to not make this game happen. And I would almost bet that this is going to be the Raiders' week 1 game, no matter what. Because you got the Buccaneers, who just went out and got Tom Brady. You also got John Gruden's old team, who we won a Super Bowl with. And then you got the Raiders, who moved to a new city, who don't get the chance to show off their new stadium, who don't get the chance to show off the new city at the NFL draft. So I wanted to put this on here because if the stadium is ready for week 1, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to make a bold prediction and say it's going to be Buccaneers at the Raiders in Las Vegas, NFL week 1. And if y'all want to go to that game week 1, hey, hit me up. I'm more than happy to tailgate with y'all. So, but if you're going to need to wear some Raiders gear, go to chatsports.com/Raiders jersey. If you watch this video on Sunday, on Easter, you can actually get these jerseys up to 30% off. If you miss the deal, luckily for you, these deals, they'll be under $80 for these Raiders jerseys. So go to chatsports.com/Raider jersey. If you need a Josh Jacobs, if you need a Max Crosby, Derek Carr, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, right now, all those jerseys are only $70, but you got to go to chatsports.com/Raiders jersey. Let's now get into this next rumor, and I saw it from Just Blog, baby. So I do think that this makes a lot of sense. The Rams being a potential trade partner, I'm giving it only 2 Chucky heads because I don't know how likely it is, 50-50. However, I do want to give a special shout out to Brad Weiss for the idea because I think it makes a ton of sense. Now, the Rams, they don't have a first-round pick, but they do have 2 second-round picks after the Brandin Cooks trade where the Rams sent wide receiver Brandin Cooks to the Houston Texans. And I sit here and I kind of laugh at Bill O'Brien because you didn't want to pay DeAndre Hopkins, but you're willing to pay Brandin Cooks, who's coming off a career low, and he's going to make $16 million this year. Honestly, I got no idea whatsoever what Bill O'Brien is doing with that organization. However, what does this mean for the Rams now? They have 2 second-round picks. What's one thing that everyone that's watching the show knows? Mike Mayock, he wants to get into the second round. So I try to flirt with this idea of the Raiders and the Rams making a trade. So what you're about to see here, okay, is a trade idea that I personally came up with, and I want you to let me know who wins this trade, the Raiders or the Rams. So go on down there in the comments section and let me know, Raiders or Rams. And the way that I put this one together is if you look at the trade value chart, okay? If you've never heard of it, you can go on Google, type in NFL trade value chart. It's how teams basically value certain picks. The first round pick for the Raiders at 19 is worth 875 points. Picks 52, 57, and 84 adds up to about 880 points. So therefore, if the Rams want to trade up into the first round, and if the Raiders want to trade back with the Rams, this is actually a very, very fair deal. Now, for me, if let's say this deal does happen, this is what it would look like, and I would be ecstatic, honestly, if the Raiders could pull off this deal. Sure, we only have 1 first-round pick then, but we have 7 picks in the top 100. I would love to have pick 19, but I think last year John Gruden and especially Mike Mayock earned my trust, and I think earned a lot of y'all's trust, where if we can get more draft picks, guess what? I'm totally on board with that. And the fact that we'd be getting 4 third-rounders, 2 second-rounders, and a first, that one's for Chucky heads, believe it, baby. But I did promise you a rumor around Cam Newton, and is Cam Newton coming to the Raiders? This one's from Mike Freeman of Bleacher Report, and I'm going to give this one 0 Chucky heads. Tuck rule, tuck that. So apparently, Mike Freeman recently asked an AFC assistant coach to pick the best landing spots for Newton. That AFC assistant coach said the Raiders, Dolphins, Bears, Rams, Patriots, and the Colts. Let me just say this. I hope Cam Newton is healthy. With the whole situation going on with the Big C, that makes Cam Newton finding a team very difficult. However, and you can see my last note there, going out and getting Cam Newton for this team doesn't make any sense. But you got to see this quote, okay? Because this is the quote that I've been sent probably 100 times in my DMs. According to this AFC assistant coach, if Newton was a Raider, they'd make the playoffs with him at quarterback. Okay, let me just calm down. Let me just honestly say that I think Mike Freeman made this whole thing up. I do. Because if you can provide or only provide this where it says AFC assistant coach, let's be real, I think you made it up. And if a coach, in my opinion, or if anybody for that matter, is too embarrassed to actually give their identity on an idea, probably a bad idea. So for all these people out there that say either source or assistant coach, give me the person's name. Because if you can't give me the person's name, honestly, I'm going to think you made it up. I'm going to think you're just trying to get a headline. Because Cam Newton going to the Raiders, I love Cam Newton. I love Superman. Wish him the best. But it doesn't make any sense for this Raiders team to go out and get a potentially injured quarterback who, if fully healthy, you might disagree with the depth chart that I'm about to show you. However, this is the world we live in right now, and I can't make sure that Cam Newton is 100% healthy. And I go back and I look at the fact that he hasn't thrown a touchdown in his last 6 games. I look at that he's not really as mobile as what he used to be because of the injuries. And unfortunately, I don't think making Cam Newton a Raider makes sense for our team. Why? You go out, you got Marcus Mariota for $7.5 million this year. Marcus Mariota is the highest paid backup quarterback in the NFL. So tell me why we have to go out and add another quarterback. If you want to add another mobile quarterback, draft Jalen Hurts in the 3rd round. It's a lot cheaper, and I know Jalen Hurts is healthy. So you got Derek Carr, you got Marcus Mariota, and you got Cam Newton. All quarterbacks that I like a lot. But here at the Raiders Report, I'm going to make you play a little bit of a game here. So I want you to rank all 3 of the quarterbacks, Derek Carr, Marcus Mariota, and Cam Newton. But I want you to do this because I think the entire article was based on the fact of Cam Newton being 100% healthy. And if Cam Newton does make the Raiders a playoff caliber team, that's great. But also, I'll say this. I think Derek Carr makes this Raiders team a playoff caliber team, and I think Marcus Mariota could do the exact same thing. So what I want you to do is I want you to rank Carr, Mariota, Newton as if all 3 of these are healthy, and I'm going to do the same on my Instagram at Mitchell Renz 365.
Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.